Good morning, rise and shine. We have a beautiful car behind me for a coffee run. My friend was generous enough to lend me his one-of-a-kind, truly in what I think, one of the best and nicest Honda S2000s in all of Canada. This 2002 AP1 in this red Honda S2000. Absolutely beautiful. What a stunning car. This is one of those cars that I think personally is absolutely timeless. It just looks so good. If you guys follow me on this channel, you know I used to have a Honda S2000 as well. It was just a tremendous experience, an awesome car to drive on the street, awesome car to take out anywhere. Truly one of a kind, right? When this got introduced in 1999, it brought in a whole bunch of new technology, came out of Formula One, and it was just really a beautiful car and a huge hit for Honda, and is still heralded and sought after to this day in 2022. So we're gonna be taking it out to get some coffee, morning breakfast, taking a look at its beauty, and really just enjoying this car for what it's meant to be doing, which is driving, right? These cars often are not driven enough, and I have the opportunity this weekend to go ahead and drive this beauty around the streets, and I'm gonna be doing multiple videos on this car, so really excited. I have it for the weekend, and just take a look at it. It just looks so beautiful inside and out. We're gonna be lucky enough to go ahead and take one of these, and this is the AP1, which has that 9,000 RPM redline engine, which is pretty incredible. So we're gonna be obviously ringing it through the gears, taking it through that, but let's go in, let's get inside of the car, and let's go ahead and enjoy this driving experience. Truly one of the best driving experiences that has come out of Japan. All right, so we're in the car. Again, this is the AP1 Honda S2000, and you can see there obviously on the exterior, there's some mods to kind of personalize this car, but what I love about this car and what he's done with the car, it's all these great minor touches that are really tasteful. So it doesn't really kind of change the car too much, but it adds that level of personalization. So obviously the Momo steering wheel here is one of those aspects, but otherwise on the interior, besides these really supportive, really race-inspired Recaro seats, which I'm in right now, these are truly buckets, and I barely fit in this one. So this is really tight. I would say I'm 175 pounds now. Usually my weight's 170. I'm 5'9", and I'm barely fitting in this seat. Like, it's still comfortable. I can still have the slightest bit of wiggle, but if you're any bigger than me, you're gonna have issues. So anything above 5'9" and 175 pounds, it's gonna be probably a bit too tight, especially with the Recaro buckets. But for me, it's actually perfect, fits like a glove. So let's go ahead and turn it on. The key goes in here, and one of the unique things about this car is kind of the dash area and how everything's laid out. So again, everything's very driver focused. The engine start stop is here. You obviously have this 6-speed shifter here as well. The roof, obviously I have the hard top, so I don't have the soft top on right now for the roof controls, but that's the unique thing, which was a little bit of a difference coming into this car, is how driver oriented everything is. So let's go ahead and turn it on. Clutch in. It's just purrs coming back on. And again, so this engine is nice and warm now. I drove it over here. We're gonna get some McDonald's coffee, and let's give it some revs, hear what it sounds like. Oh my God. It's knowing that your red line is 9,000 RPM is kind of crazy. Oh my God. Oh my God. And of course, you have the Greddy exhaust, the Spectrum Elite, which I'll be talking about. So custom exhaust on this car, aftermarket one specifically put on, and it just sounds phenomenal. That's crazy. So this 9,000 RPM redline, that is the nutty part. So let's go ahead, get on the street, and experience truly one of the best cars that's come out of Japan. When this got introduced in 1999, it really brought in so much stuff from their Formula One team And actually this dash, funny enough, is from the McLaren car. And really, everything about this car was around driver orientation and speed. The driver experience. Oh my God, the power. Now, of course, the engine's a 240 horsepower, 4-cylinder engine. It makes the most horsepower per liter of any other car in the last 10 years until the Ferrari 488 came out and overtook it for the most horsepower per liter. But this was the reigning champion for getting the most horsepower per liter out of an engine. And really, this car is not about its power. It's about how it delivers that power and how fun it is to experience that power out when you're driving. You know, having owned one of these previously, I've driven lots of S2000s, not this one specifically so much, and that's the fun, the experience to get there. A car with a 9,000 RPM redline is just insane, and it makes you think, how can I get that high? And you do, especially after 6,000 RPM. That's when it really wants to open up, after 6,000. And what's awesome about this car is that it's so nimble. Like, I'm moving the steering wheel and it is so nice. Now, there's a whole list of mods on this car that's also helped improve the steering and suspension feel. One of them is front sway bars, which just really tightens that front suspension and really precisely puts the steering in your control. And the shifting feel is great as well. This is quite actually a short shifter compared to other cars I've previously been in. My E46 M3, my 2008 Audi R8. Downshift, perfect downshift. This transmission likes to shift quite easily, smoothly, which obviously is awesome. These Recaro seats just hold you in really nicely. I'm not moving anywhere in these Recaros. I am nice, snug, and tight. And then we have this big brake kit as well that's providing a lot of stopping power for this car. And then you come down to a stop and it's very quiet, very docile. But as soon as you want to put on the power and you go, it's gonna go. Oh my God. And it's all about that experience and just getting up there. Really, this car picks up, the VTEC kicks in at around 6,000 RPM. You really feel that extra rush of power coming out of this engine. Now, of course, you know, guys, this is 2022. We talk about every kind of car has 400 horsepower, all this stuff. And yes, this car doesn't have the most horsepower in the world anymore. 240 horsepower is not a lot of horsepower, but 150 pound-feet of torque. But this car isn't about that. It's about how you get to that power, how you wind out the engine. Almost similar in the vein to my Audi R8, which is why I love that car so much. It's about the driver experience. And I love this car because really it feels like you're in a go-kart on the street. And everything, the speed that you're going at, your shifts, this car makes everything feel faster. Makes everything feel more exhilarating. And that's what's a unique thing about this car. And that's why I miss this car. This is, you know, you always have those cars that you regret to sell. It's like, I can't believe I sold this car. And this is that car for me. I can't believe I sold mine. That was such a silly move. I just didn't have enough garage space at the time. It's truly a remarkable car to drive, an experience to own. And he's done such a great job keeping this car in mint condition specifically. This car, just take a look at it. It's mint. It is beautiful. It's an awesome shape. It's, you know, I'm not boasting my friend here, but really, I look around and I've seen lots of S2000s, car shows here, there, everything. This is one of the most mint collector kind of S2000s that's out there. And so obviously I'm gonna take care of it like a baby. But I'm really happy to be back in this thing and driving one of these cars, and it reminds me why I miss it so much. Now I'm gonna be looking on Bring a Trailer looking for this car again. It's crazy. Some traffic here. Love the whining, the wind up with the engine. Oh my. Oh my GBs. This thing just screams. It really does scream when it gets up to that 7, 8, 9,000 RPM rev range. Oh, wow. Love the tack. The tachometer is one of the things that was really unique about this car. A lot of things are very unique about this car. And I'm gonna be doing more videos. I'm gonna be doing a full review video actually, because I'm gonna have it over the weekend. We're gonna be taking out on some twisties out here. But the unique thing about this car is everything's so driver oriented. Basically nothing was created for the passenger. On the passenger side, you just have a single air vent. That's all you get as a passenger. That's really it. And you get to sit and enjoy the experience in shotgun. And everything else is super driver focused in the cockpit. Love the visibility out of the roof. You're not blocked here. You get to see everything in front of you. Visibility is great on this car. Of course, it's a drop top as well. I love having the convertible. Now, it does have the hard top that's on the car right now, which is an OEM red hard top in Formula Red. Love the steering feel. Now, these cars are known for snap oversteer. I actually had a buddy that's ended up crashing his S2000 because he lost the rear, it regained traction and just kind of fishtailed out because of that snap oversteer. So that's one thing you got to be mindful about. This car has the Hankook RS4 tires, which are these very nice high performance summer tires. But still, you always want to be careful with these cars. You got to treat this car with respect. There is no ABS on this car. Or sorry, there's no traction control on this car. So another thing you have to just be mindful about, it's just you in the car. There's no driver aids, there's no nannies to save you. It's just you in this thing, this S2000, and you got to learn how to drive it. You got to learn how to control it, and you got to also pay a little respect to it. There's a lot of these cars crash out due to the snap oversteer. People do lose control, especially when they don't keep the engine stock. And so this engine is basically fully stock. It does have an intake in it, but that's about it. It just has the intake, and it's on Eibach coilovers as well. So the suspension, I'll fully talk about the specs of this specific model. So if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like this video. There's gonna be a full video on this car detailing everything you need to know about this beautiful one-of-a-kind example that I'm driving in today. The clutch catch point on this car is a bit high. Every car is different, so that's good. I do like the steering wheel. I guess there's no airbag, huh? On this wheel. So I shouldn't get in an accident or something's gonna happen to me. I should actually ask my buddy about that. Yeah, having this come in your face won't be the prettiest thing. Again, so the passenger has the regular seats and I'm in the Vaqueros. These seats are tight. I am stuck in these seats. It's actually quite you have to kind of hold the steering wheel, pull yourself up, put yourself up on these. I'll show you guys how it is to get out of this thing. It's a bit difficult. Probably, you know, awesome track seat. For city driving every day, you know, it probably can get a little annoying. I'm lucky I fit in these, to be honest with you. Like, I am just a millimeter wider, I wouldn't be able to fit. I just perfectly fit in these seats. So a little adjustment, right? You have the adjustment to bring it back and forth, but other than that, no other further adjustment. All right, let's get some Mickey D's. I'm dying here for breakfast. Storage is basically non-existent in this car, especially because he's got a sound system in the back. So you have these little cubbies here, and that's it. And believe it or not, for how low this car is, I remember when I picked it up, and I said to my friend, I'm like, you know, is this gonna even be drivable, how low this car is? Surprisingly, it's taking all these bumps and these little holes on the road really well. So props to Eibach. Awesome. And the Olin suspension, just doing a great job with all of the imperfections in the road. These tires are good too. We're gonna obviously test the tires out a little bit more, but this is awesome. Well, we just finished up the coffee run back home at the house. We're gonna be taking this car out for a lot more driving. So again, make sure you guys subscribe, like this video. Let me know if you have any questions. What do you think about this car? I personally think it's one of the most beautiful examples of the Honda S2000 you can get. So I'm really excited to continue driving this thing. It just looks absolutely beautiful and stunning. And I wanna hear more of this exhaust. So make sure you guys like this video, subscribe to the channel, and we're gonna be doing more of this car, this beautiful, gorgeous Honda S2000 in my hands, and we'll try not to crash it. I'm just kidding if my buddy's watching, I know he is.